What's going on, and welcome to the Stick Drift Podcast, a podcast for all things cars, racing games, motorsports, and more. Josh, it is the week for some good wood. Is the kind of week this is.
Good wood.
It is the best of wood kind of week this week. Now, it's not the best wood, is what I hear. This is the going up wood, right? Like you said.
I'm not a fan of this one. I prefer the revival instead of the.
Are they separate things? Is there like two good woods a year?
They do one like 2 months earlier. That's
the
actual racing, and this is the hill climb, and this is the Brands one. The Brands like this one.
Yeah, which I mean, I guess it's good for because we can be like, and this car, but the issue is because we follow it so in depth because of the podcast. We've seen all these cars, but
nothing here is really new. It's all just kind of like, a car that was announced 5 months ago. There it is.
It's like, it's technically their reveal now, though. But yes, this week on the Stick Drift Podcast, we're going to be looking at some absolutely great wood with the races, the shenanigans. It's going on right now, so there's obviously going to be stuff we miss. Obviously, podcast is being recorded Friday. It's being recorded early. There's a busy weekend. So, yes, it's early. We're going to be talking about the good wood. We're going to be talking about a big YouTuber being, essentially their career just being grinded to a halt.
Yeah.
And it's incredibly weird. So we are going to be talking about that as well. We're going to be talking about the new TDU. We got, finally, TDU got revealed.
We saw gameplay, finally. It took them 3 years.
Yeah. I want to say we talked about TDU last episode, because I feel like I know we did recently, because we talked about how they didn't show a week of whatever, or they didn't show a week of
Yeah, they missed a week. What's it called? A monthly.
Yeah.
Newsletter. That's what the name is.
And I guess this is why they missed it, to be fair. But honestly, you know what? Kudos to Alex7. He pulls off the acting job rather well. Like, he was in the room at that, like, TDU showcase thing. He was in the room and in that event, yet in his, like, video for the teaser, he was like, is this in TDU? This might be in TDU. The ground looks like it's in TDU. Maybe this is an in-game image, not a real person.
You do this, though, when you're reacting to trailers of stuff that you've already seen in test services.
You have to, right? You have to, like...
What's this car? I don't know. Is that new?
Is that the car that I didn't know was there? What? You have to
Sees one core of an arch. Is that the name's very obscure car? Whoa, what's a guess?
Like, you have to, right? You have to be... It's essentially... You're working backwards. You know what the answer is, but you have to find the way to get... It's like maths GCSE. Like, you can do it in your head, but now you have to work backwards and be like, okay, but I didn't know it because the NDA. I knew it because in this frame of this trailer for this second that I knew was there, I happened to know to check.
I mean, knowing the car's going to be in the game does help jog your memory of what car
exactly,
it might be.
Right? Like, but I won't even point out a model. I'll have to be there like, is it that? Brings it up on Google Images. Could it be that? I don't know. But yes, it's a whole thing jumping around NDAs and whatnot. But test drive, we won't be talking too in depth about the new test drive. One, because Josh is a raging pessimist, and we already get. You know what? Honestly, we'd probably top 10 society moments, right? We'd probably get more Stick Drift had a bad take if we praised the game too much. Now that, to be fair.
Exactly,
like...
see? Yeah.
We're incredibly good at getting Stick Drift had bad take, but yes, we would actually have a worse take if we said TDU was good, which is wild. But we won't talk about it too in depth, because this week on the Stick Drift Podcast, right before the Crew Motorfest beta, because the beta starts on Friday, we are going to have an episode of the Stick Drift Podcast featuring Alex7, our first returning guest on the podcast. I'm then also going to get a guest for the week after. Then the week after that, I don't know. But I will talk around. I will maybe even think about getting the creative director of the Crew 2 onto the podcast.
You need him on. You need him.
That could be very, very... Oh, well, just the Crew Motorfest. That would be very, very cool. But let's begin with the week's main topics. I mean, I guess we can jump straight into the good wood. We can jump on the good wood quickly. Let's bring...
I mean, just say quickly, like 8 gazillion stories.
I mean, that's the thing, right? I mean, I suppose we'll talk about some of the unveilings, I guess. I mean, we can do that.
Unveilings.
Yeah, that's the...
I mean, it's just stuff like, X car was seen in person at like a public event for the first time instead of in a box somewhere. Just kind of, I don't know.
And the cars we saw like that, I mean, there was some wild and wacky ones. There was some shenanigans that went on too. Cars, tires falling off. 2 crashes, I think.
Yeah. Well, do you count them with the wheel falling off a crash? It didn't really crash. It kind of just broke.
Oh, was that not? I thought you meant as in like when you
no,
said there was.
I couldn't find the second alleged crash.
Okay, but I know of the one. I believe I saw a video of the one. We got. This is an article from Porsche from Autoblog.
From the top or the bottom top?
Porsche Vision 357 Speedster. Is this just a post about the Speedster? What's happened to it? What's it doing?
I think it was launched in the biggest quotation marks I've ever seen in my life. Like, they unveiled one real one in a showroom somewhere.
Yeah. I was gonna say, are they actually selling this car? Like, what
no,
is...
it's got no headlights, of course not.
Oh, yeah, I guess. I mean, it has headlights. It's just they're like underneath the bodywork or whatever. It's like a...
I think it's just to like hype up the Boxster. It's not called the Boxster anymore, is it? The Cayman, the non-911 Porsche 2-seater. I think it's just to hype up. They're making an EV one of those.
I was gonna say, yeah, the Boxster's the one that they were making an EV one of. I feel like I remember.
Still called the Boxster. That is impressive.
I think so. It was the Boxster and then the Cayenne. Or one of them, Macan or Cayenne.
The Macan or Cayenne, the smaller one.
Yeah, whichever one of those, that's getting an EV too. So I guess, yeah, this is more just like a show thing. I mean, it'll probably appear in some racing games, I assume. I could see this thing in like a Forza. It looks pretty... It's supposed to be like a renewed...
It's like the old
356.
One of the... Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, and it's like the 75th anniversary or whatever. Woo! Let's go! I mean... It's an EV, and I mean, Porsche only has the Taycan for that, so it's nice that they're doing another EV kind of thing. Then, speaking of EVs, I said that before I saw any EVs, because I was like, yeah, sure, there'll be another EV.
Yeah, speaking of EVs, is there another one?
The Renault 5. The Renault 5 was at the good wood. In fact, one of the best bits of wood we could be looking at to begin with, frankly. It's wide, it's short, it's chubby. Some of the best kind of wood, frankly. It's got lights on the front. Has it got 2 GoPros instead of headlights? I'm just seeing that.
It does, yeah.
That's kind of cool. The Renault 5 was zipping about at Goodwood. Of course,
it's got a new livery. I don't know why they changed it. The old one was...
This one's just sort of like more French themed, right? I assume
that's probably it. Yeah, now that it's an actual event, they're like, oh, France.
Yeah, because you can see the front. It's got those 3 bits, and they're blue, white, and red on the.
It's like the BMW M series, like colors, but it's just the French flag.
Exactly right. It's just instead of a different blue, it's red. But this is the Renault 5 that's never really gonna make it to market.
No, this is the concept of the Renault 5.
Yeah,
the wild concept.
I think this one's based on like the old Renault 5s, right? Like this one's like a it's like a heritage.
I mean, that's why it's
remake.
actually a box.
Exactly, right? It's that era of Renault 5, and then the other Renault 5 that we got, which we've talked about many a times on the Stick Drift podcast. That thing is going to be the big production model one. I mean, it would be nice if there was actually a thing to put these in, right? Like a GP. Is there an EVGP? Is that a thing? An EVGP?
Not really. No one would watch it.
I mean, I guess that's the issue. I mean, people watch Formula E, right?
British touring car struggles as it is. Imagine if you made an EV.
There needs to be another mainstream level thing like F1, man. F1 can't have a monopoly because they do bad stuff with it.
Well, they have F1, F2, F3. I mean,
Oh, do they own all of them? Is that a thing?
Of course they do. I think they also
Yeah.
a Porsche Super Cup.
Owning the license to the letter F, I guess, you know.
Yeah.
But the Renault 5, it's got no. It has no place. Is my issue. Give it a place because it's a cool thing, right?
Give it to me.
Exactly. Like your driveway would be a good place to have it.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of cars with absolutely no place, we've got the AIM EV Sport. AIM as in what? Like the Marvel company? Like AIM EV Sport looks like
It's such a goofy name for a car.
It looks like if Alpine was brought back 20 years earlier than it was. It's what it looks like to me. It's got the like circle. What do AIM do? AIM cars? AIM cars.
I suppose they aim to make cars, but
I suppose, but past the puns, nothing. I search AIM cars. This is the only car that's come up. What is the story of AIM cars? Revealed as a light and nimble sports car. Oh, what is the back? What does this remind me of? This reminds me of
something
like
bad. They're like a spiker.
A spiker, yeah. Someone else had like a really bad.
It's got like the weird
recently, like
archway.
Yeah, like that one essentially DB5 concept that was an Aston Martin. Oh, that was like a. Oh, some company made like essentially a Mercedes made like a knockoff DB5 concept.
It looks like they've just done an Apex and just shown up somewhere with a fully functioning car and been like, yeah, we exist.
Yeah, because they don't. Do they have?
I can't find their website. If they have one, I can't find it.
AIM, all electric sports car debut at Goodwood FOS. Dual motors developing.
Goodwood stuff, yeah. It's a dual motor, like 460 horsepower sports coupe.
With the help of the designer of the Nissan GT-R, AIM, a Japanese company that has raced cars at Le Mans, so they're a Le Mans only brand, I guess.
So they're like a Caterham basically, but Caterham make like one road car if you're asking nicely.
Has announced its first road car, the EV Sport 01. I've not really heard anyone talking about this. I mean, Goodwood's a big place to announce it, but it looks so. I mean,
I had an anime livery on it, and they were like Japan, Japan, Japan. It'd sell.
I was gonna say, like, maybe it's a Japanese market. Oh, and the Alpine's right behind it, which you can see what I mean, right? It just looks like it's Japan's Alpine, essentially. Alpine.
Yeah, Alpine.
I mean, I guess it beat Alpine. It beat Alpine to an EV Alpine, so I mean that's cool, I guess.
Yeah, but no one wants an EV Alpine is the issue.
Yeah, I mean
we're gonna have three of them now, aren't we? We're gonna have the Caterham EV, and then the MG Cyberstar.
Oh, the Cyberstar.
They're all sort of similar two-door sport coupe EVs.
So let's hop into talking about the Cyberstar because I know we've got that somewhere. Also, what's the Caterham? Caterham, what is it like? Is it Caterham?
I didn't put that in the news. Yeah, I shouldn't have been a Mr. River.
Is it like an actual car or is it like?
Okay. It's called the Project V, like a compound V.
No way. I forget that they're doing the new Huracan hybrids. That thing exists. I cannot find the Cyberster either.
I
found it.
It's hiding. Yeah, it's all the way back.
I found the going up the hill one. This thing, I don't like its name, frankly, but
it's a horrendous name.
Yeah, it itself is kind of cool. So we talked about on the Stick Drift podcast a while ago, if you'll remember, the MG Cyberstar, which is like. It looks like this sort of new Alpine, I guess. I don't know what other cars to compare it to.
It weighs 2 tons, end of. It's not a good car.
Oh, does it? See, the
compared to the Caterham V, I just put the images of the V in the bottom of cars.
Oh, this is the thing this is the rear that the whatever we looked at reminded me of.
This is literally what you should buy instead of the MG Cyberstar. It's actually, it weighs half. Makes the same power.
It looks a bit tacky, though. It looks kind of tacky, honestly. You're really low down, by the way. You look like so short. What's it called?
That'll be my chair. I can't.
It looks like... It looks too tacky to me. I mean, Caterham have a name. Like, I'd need to see it in person. This image is
It's
too
too
low
expensive. It needs to be seen in person, yeah. But it's too expensive no matter what. It's £80,000.
Yeah. I mean,
You could buy a Lotus Evira. What's the new one?
Evora?
Evora? I
Avija?
think that's the old one. Emira. Is Emira the new one?
Amira? I think, probably.
The new Lotus is
Yeah.
cheaper than that, and it looks way better. And so is what else? The Alpine A110R is basically the same price as that, and yeah, just better.
They're better cars. The Amira is the one you're talking about, yeah. Okay, if you can get an Amira for this price, yeah, sure.
You can get an Amira for cheaper.
It looks like a Maserati to me, and it's pretty cheap for a Maserati, right? So there you go.
Yeah, it is like an MC20's just kind of parallel dimension.
It's the back. The back being that flat, it looks a bit tacky.
I just think
like
it's because Caterham has no, like, they can't base it off any of their previous cars. Because all their previous cars are open wheelers.
Yeah, they're not, so
they have no iconic look that they can base the design off of, so they're just kind of going, car?
The fact that you can get an Amira for cheaper, but I don't know where these kind of cars are going to go, right? What happens to... You know what? It's been like, it's a bit of a movie issue, right? Like, movies recently have this issue where if you make something unique, it flops. If you make something based on an original, an existing IP, everyone talks about how you should make something unique. But anything unique will flop. They're stuck in... The world with cars seems stuck in that loop. Anything new...
Alpine A290.
What's the what? I mean, yeah, I guess,
Alpine, I mean, that's...
I mean, Alpine is a top 1% company, though, so they
The A110R is peak car. Like, it's unbeatable.
The A290 might flop, though, is the issue, right? Like, there's still a big chance that thing flops. Like...
They're still showing it with carbon fiber. It's got carbon fiber, like forged carbon fiber sideskars.
Like, really thinking about it, right?
Forged carbon fiber.
Everyone complains about the SUVs. Everyone complains about the generic sedans and all of that. They're kind of the only way car companies can make money now that I think about it.
I mean, they could make actually good cars instead, but, you know.
I mean, sure, but again, that requires more money, which results in less profit, which results in less company, meaning less car, right? It's a self-decaying spiral is the issue. Stuff like this. If this doesn't sell well, what does Caterham do next, right? Like, either
I mean, I don't know how Caterham's around in the first place. No one buys a brand new Caterham in the first place. I don't know where they got the money to develop this.
But they either go back into a hole, or they... I don't know, make a Caterham SUV, right? Like a Caterham SUV.
I don't think they would never make an SUV.
No,
this current CEO exists anyway. He said this current CEO said this will weigh less than 1.2 tons. Otherwise, we will not make the car.
Yeah, okay.
Like, they will not make a car over 1.2 tons. They just straight up refuse.
Yeah, they actually want to make some cool stuff. So good on Caterham. And you know what? This image, I like the front of the car.
It weighs half of the Cyberster, by the way.
This is a HD image, by the way. But yeah, that's kind of... Why is the Cyberster so heavy?
I don't know. They filled it, like, they must have filled it with lead. Like, the doors are just lead lined. It's got bulletproof glass. I don't know.
But this is a very HD image of the Caterham, right? From the front, it looks a bit too bug-eyed, but it's not... I
think they've done that because the open wheel ones have the bug-eye headlights.
Yeah, the circle eyes, right? So it's supposed to look like those.
I think they've gone, no, we have sort of...
That's the only recognizable shape they can go with, right? Like, you know, like Aston Martin has the front of a car that they put on everything. All Mustangs have the same recognizable front shape. I guess they're just like, I guess this will be our recognizable front shape because it's the first time they're doing anything this.
It gives me Ford Puma vibes with the headlights being so elongated.
It's like a Puma hypercar. That's what it is.
Yeah,
it's like a Puma trying to be a Maserati, and it's kind of cool for that, honestly. I think.
And it's fresh.
I mean, that too, right? That
the zero bias.
But the back, I just can't get over the... What has happened to you? There we go.
I went green for a second with excitement.
Exactly. I can't with the back. The back just ruins it for me. It's too flat. It just... I can't...
I'm not going to be buying one.
I mean, then they might as well not sell any, is the thing.
Yeah.
But next things coming out in the good wood, we saw... the latest EV from China. It's straight out of sci-fi film. Essentially, it's if a Polestar tried to be a BMW i8.
Well, it's got the name Hi-Fi, like high fidelity, like sound.
Yeah.
But it's just it doesn't no.
So at Goodwood Racing, the latest EV, the Hi-Fi Z. What is the company this is from? Is there a company?
I think it's the Hi-Fi Z. I'd assume Hi-Fi is the name, but
the
you're never
company?
gonna find it.
I was gonna say, yeah. I assume it's not on British internet. Like,
Oh no, they do exist. They do
there you go.
exist. On the website.
Is someone gonna close the charging cap?
Starts at £100,000, by the way.
Oh Jesus Christ! What?
108.
I forget that. Are all cars at the Goodwood buyable cars? Like, are they all attainable wood? Because, I mean, the Bolide
I don't
so
know if one of these
assume
would
not,
ever
right?
show up if you placed an order or not.
I mean, that too, right? It turns out it's an Escobar fold.
It's got suicide doors. This is
Does
this is one of the promo images.
the front looks kind of stinky.
It's the front.
back-
It just looks like a Polestar and like an iX9 or whatever, the big BMW.
Yeah, it's just combined that kind of style of
Yeah, I
vehicle.
guarantee it weighs
Oh,
a ton.
is this what suicide doors are? What are the ones that lift upwards? What are
Butterfly.
wing doors, gull wings, butterfly? I guess.
Gull,
yeah.
that's the one. Gull wing are like that, and then you
Yeah,
got butterfly that open.
And then these are suicide doors. I did not know that. The ones that open backwards. What a
How
name!
did you not know the
Like,
only good feature of the RX-8?
what a name! What like what? It's a very un-YouTube friendly name, if anything. But
I suppose if you jumped out the car while opening the door, you'd get sucked into the door and dragged under. I don't know.
I suppose. But quite the name. But
You
yes,
can't do
the,
your an old-timey cartoon bailout.
Yeah. But the Hi-Fi Z features. The quote was, would feature in Blade Runner 2049. Whoa! I mean, it does look kind of like a cyberpunk car, I guess.
For 109 grand, buy a Polestar.
I guess, yeah. But I suppose it's Chinese market, right? So,
Buy a Lotus Emira.
I mean, if you blur your eyes a bit, it looks like a GTR. So, you know, it's like maybe buy it for that. Like,
You'd have to be blind to agree with that statement, but
but the next car, the next wood that we shall be talking about is a wood that's only for the bold. Dirt's for the bold, and Graves Untold, and Batman Brave and the Bold, and Discounted Sold, and the really bad.
no one knows
advert.
what you're referencing. Yeah, you're gonna look insane.
So, if you didn't see a trailer that Lamborghini released ages ago, we talked about it, right? Lamborghini, been a bit of a parody brand recently, I can't lie, with their movie and a trailer that they released that was essentially... It was terrible. It was a bunch of people... It was a bunch of bad shots of the...
It was an art student's like final project kind of thing. It was so artsy, like it was drifting in the sand and they were reading a poem or whatever it was, and
Dirt's for the bold, Graves for the...
but it was a horrible poem.
Here it is. It's playing right now.
Proceed with caution. Raceway.
Proceed with caution. Like the cringe line. Where are the cringe lines? Where's the one with the cringe? There it is. There you go. Beyond the concrete. It was unbearably bad. I assume there's copyrighted
All of
music,
that.
but
For a Lamborghini that's
Master
just
of
a hurricane
speed.
with roof rails on it.
Master of Speed.
Wear your finest suit. Dirt is made for it. Let the show off begin. On this new concrete, spray paint powder on tires that thrive on the rim. Dust is gold.
Dust
Dirt's
is
for the bold.
bold. Dirt's for the bold. That was a trailer they released for the Lamborghini Sturato. A essentially heavy air quotes off-road spec Hurricane is what the Sturato
Cleo
was.
has more ground clearance.
The
Look
what?
at her. Look at like
Yeah.
the average Vauxhall Astra has more off-road capability than that.
I mean, I like its existence, right? It's an
It's got
off-road.
roof rails and wide body fender flares. Like that's what it is.
It's a Lamborghini that is being sold by Lamborghini. Like, it's not aftermarket. It's being sold by Lamborghini. It's got front lights. Like, it's got front fog lights.
It is
like, it's
Lamborghini is like aftermarket on it and selling it for 400% markup. Yeah.
It's got fog lights. It's got roof rack, and it's got a wide body. And I assume it's slightly higher up than the regular Huracan.
Yeah, about 2 centimeters by the looks of it, yeah.
But yes, the Lamborghini Huracan was also, it showed off, Lamborghini showed off some wood. And one of those bits of wood was the Serato.
I don't get this car.
Yeah.
Because with the Porsche 911 Dakar, like, that's actually raised high off the ground. This, all it has done is ruined its on-road performance. But you can't use it off-road.
Who's gonna buy it is the question, right? Like,
collectors. I guarantee they're sold instantly. I guarantee it.
Depends how many they made, right? It's like, how many eccentric collectors are there?
I imagine like 50.
I would probably argue. I assume they might not have even they might have actually asked first, like, hey, who wants to buy this, and then made them, right? Because I
mean, this is the kind of thing people go mad for. Like,
yeah. I doubt they want to lose money on something like this. It's an off-road Huracan, right? It's a from the manufacturer off-road Huracan. No matter what.
And you gotta remember the Huracan's not a multi-million-pound hypercar. It's a like £300,000 supercar. It's a lot lower in the market. There's a lot more market for a £300,000 Huracan than there is a P1 or something.
I guess, yeah. Like,
and they sold like a 300 P1s. So.
The Huracan's probably... What's the cheapest Lamborghini currently? Like the Gallardo?
Gallardo.
I assume the Huracan will eventually maybe dip down to those levels, but I believe the Gallardo...
Once the Gallardos become rare, yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be a battle between the Huracan and the Urus, so what's cheaper first? I reckon Urus.
Well, you're a Urus hater is the issue, so bias
Number
opinion,
one
fan. But...
Bias opinion, never.
But the Huracan, of course, is getting refreshed as well, so you're not going to get Huracans like these for a very, very soon, at least. But the Stratos was shown off, I assume. I don't know if it was like full reveal or anything, but it was shown off. But let's talk about something a bit wild and wacky that happened at the Good Wood. Sometimes the wood can go a little loose, right? And this time around, I don't even know what car it is. This thing right here, the Jaguar Mark 1, was at Goodwood. Massive rear tire, by the way, compared to the front. It seems like it's race-spec'd. It's got the, like, lights crossed out. It's got, like, a red undercarriage or whatever.
It's like a vintage racer.
It's some old-school wood, right? It's some classic wood. But this thing, halfway through the race, drops a tire. How does this happen, right? What's the logistics on something like this happening?
Does it have, like, sort of center screw wheels? It does. I'd assume they just didn't tighten it enough.
Oh, so what, they can just
So you don't have lug nuts. It's got essentially a big bolt. You know, like in you probably won't know, but where they hammer the center caps to rotate it, like you've seen Ford vs Ferrari. They do that in Ford vs Ferrari. They use the hammer to get the wheel off. This will have the same thing. But I actually didn't hammer it enough. Or I just snapped one of the two.
I just noticed that the number plate thing is buy one.
That's just the most illegal number plate I've ever seen in my life. But I doubt anyone's pulling this over anyway. So.
Yeah, it's kind of a good number plate though. Buy one. It's pretty cool. But yeah, obviously it did go into some people, and I do hope that those people are okay.
They had no injuries.
Was it no injuries?
No, none.
What?
It's like a 10-kilo wheel. Just.
I was gonna say.
It's like stainless steel lump of metal just goes into the crowd and just, Yeah,
what did it hit, like 2 people or something?
Hit 2 people, yeah. They just stayed and watched the rest of the event. They just kind of...
Yeah, but like, what? Okay, it looks like it didn't land in the crowd. It seems to have hit the ground. Oh, wait, no. I can't even tell.
Randox is a sponsor. I'm not right. Randor. I thought yeah.
That is Randox. That is whatever Randox.
It's not Randor.
No, Randor as in like the school, the middle school,
that's what I said. I was like, no, Randor Fizz.
Yeah.
Good word.
But losing a tire is absolutely wild. If you're losing bits of your wood halfway through the process and you've not even finished yet, something's worrying. And this wasn't even the biggest.
I mean, it is old,
accident, right?
so.
I guess, yeah. Did you put the video of?
I did put the Ioniq 6.
Oh, is it this? Yeah, today's crash at Goodwood Festival. So as well as the big tire, right? We also saw the Ioniq 6. Wait, like, what's the difference?
Yeah, the Ioniq 6N.
Oh wait, let me replug that in. Oh, so I swear this is just. Isn't this
It's
just
the
the
Ioniq
original
6,
version?
but
like,
more powerful, and it's got a wing.
Well, I swear it's the other way around.
And it's
I swear
blue.
The other one is just like a less powerful version of this. Because wasn't this the concept they showed, and then they were like, we'll make the original?
No, they released a Streamliner concept, which is what the Ioniq 6 was based off of.
Yeah.
Then for their new N Division EV line, they unveiled the Ioniq 6N, which is what this is.
Oh, so
that's
this
2 years
will
old.
sell? Like, this will go
No.
on
The
road?
Ioniq 5N is going to be for sale, so I don't see why this wouldn't be.
Oh, God, that is a... Wait, what happens here? Okay, wait, so let me
It just gets, like, all of the understeer. Like, it saves it all up for this corner.
Yeah, so it's going. It looks pretty speedy. It's electric, right? It looks like he goes
and then
straight
it starts to
into
turn, and then just doesn't.
You can barely see his... That doesn't even look like he's turning. Surely, okay, understeer exists, right? Understeer. I'm not an understeer denier, right?
If
I
it
believe
hooked,
in
he would have gone
understeer.
round the corner.
Was the what?
If it hooked, he would have gone around the corner with that much wheel anger.
Oh,
It's
okay,
just,
okay.
It kind of didn't.
Yeah, but it just like he just... It looks like he goes straight into it. Like, it just like that. It just looks like he doesn't even...
It has no front downforce, which is, I think, why. I assume...
Was he going too fast?
Yeah. For the car with that little downforce, yeah.
I guess, yeah. He just didn't know the car, I suppose.
It's got a massive rear wing and no front wing. So it just... With the front splitter. So it just kind of... Yeah.
It's unfortunate, though. Like, I assume the car was very damaged. Was there, like, footage of it afterwards?
Not that I have on hand. Ioniq.
Oh, here we go. Here's some back shots with the Goodwood.
Oh.
I believe this is what this is. It seems like it was doing all right before. It went round this turn right here, right? Like, it went round this first turn. I guess it didn't have that much speed yet.
Wait, you saw it almost. You understood
Actually,
there. You saw it.
It almost looked like it was already going out. Was it the driver? Is it the driver of the car, or was it the driver didn't know the car?
The car weighs a bit. I think it's a
Okay.
combination of... It weighs like 1.7 tons or something
So how do you
insane.
not have downforce in an EV? How does that work?
What does that statement mean? Just
Isn't
put
the
electric
floor...
batteries in a car and as you just...
Well,
it just
isn't the
it's
floor
quick.
supposed to be like... Isn't the floor a battery or whatever? And they're heavy or something? Or is that a different thing? Is
but
that a different physics thing?
There's a difference between having a floor and
Oh, I
then
guess
having a
that's center
like
of gravity,
multi-100,000-pound F1 aerodynamic floor.
I assume I'm getting... what's it called? I assume I'm getting aerodynamics and downforce confused with center of gravity. Okay, but like
I
whatever.
mean, it has a low center of gravity, yeah. It's
Exactly,
just-
right? That should have stopped it.
It
Because
just
I
didn't
decided-
turn.
Yeah. It was very early into the run as well, it seems. It seems like it was literally... It starts, it goes around the first one, almost spins, goes around some wide turns, and then straight away the first turn that required some thinking was straight into that. Like, was there... So where was the footage of it after?
I couldn't find any,
Oh, could you
unfortunately.
not? Oh, okay.
No. It's
But-
like it's been scrubbed. Nothing on swear. Nothing.
So what else? I mean, it would be cool to go to one of these, I suppose. But, what else was... So you said there was another crash of some kind.
Well, people were saying that a crash happened where a modern car went into the back of something like old, but
Seems really
that seems
vague.
to have been evaporated. Yeah, no, that
Yeah.
just seems to... I can't find it. If it
Seems rather
but
vague as well. It's just like, so a newer car hit an older car. Which brand? I don't know. Why are you asking me? You know. But we also...
who
so
knows?
From...
I cannot confirm this allegation.
Yeah, from these cars that absolutely bottled it, we also have cars like the McLaren Solus GT. More like McLaren R Solus, am I right?
Wait.
Wait, I don't know this car. That was just a funny.
It just
pun.
looks bad.
Oh, it's like a very... It's a very something, actually. McLaren Solus. It
It is
looks
quite soulless.
like a car test drive would have. Like it. Oh, it looks kind of cool actually. I like it. I like it.
It
In
looks
this color
like a
scheme.
Gran Turismo, like a Vision Gran Turismo kind of thing.
I like it in this color scheme. I don't like it in any other color scheme. Like
Right,
these ones.
right under the thing. Go woke, go crash. Crash the
Whoa,
bales.
SMA. Well, go more like woke Laren.
Woke Laren. Woke Sir Low
But
Woke.
it just has like 3 colors. SMH. McLaren unwoke. But
Blue. Go woke, go
it's-
broke.
it's just a track car, right? Well, why do companies
Yeah.
make these? Like the
Tax write-offs, I don't know.
I guess, yeah. Oh, I've driven this car before. In
IRL?
Lego 2K Drive.
Didn't know you had a soulless IRL.
Yeah, I more like Lego 2K Drive is soulless. Wait. It's I actually quite like it. I really like it in this color scheme. It's like this yellowy, it's like this orange, blue, black color scheme. And that thing was also at Goodwood. Didn't see it race though, but we also, I mean, I assume it did at some point, but
I assume it went up the hill at least once.
we
yeah.
don't have the footage of
Didn't
it.
go into the hay bales.
Stick drift man on the ground didn't get the footage of it.
No.
The bolide was also shown there. That is not on hand for footage. The bolide was shown there, as well as the real cooler one out of all of these, I suppose, from CarWow, the Ferrari KC23. The
Such
one-off.
a horrendous name.
The one-off is based on the 488 GT3, likely to retain the 4-litre twin-turbo V8, butterfly doors,
Butterfly doors.
motorized air intakes, removable.
What does that
wing.
even mean?
Who knows? They move. The air intakes like move like
They
a spoiler.
move, yeah, but like
right?
that would surely that's been on cheap cars for a while.
And
huh?
liquid metal infused into the paint. Sure, right?
Surely that's just metallic paint. I need to start doing this when I sell my car. It's got liquid metal infused paint.
Yeah. Mechanically opening doors. Not
Yeah.
automatic. No one said anything about automatic.
No.
Manually, mechanically.
They're reverse
opening
suicide doors because they open normally.
Exactly, reverse suicide doors. This car right here. So it's a one-off. Does that mean they're selling it, or is it like, oh, we're making it because look? Ooh.
I mean, the actual IRL version looks just like a 488.
oh,
I'd
is there
assume
a
it's-
road version, or like
No,
a?
they drove it up the hill.
Okay, so let me look at this thing.
The actual one that they drove up there, it's just a 488 with a body kit. I'd assume they took what is the 488 GT3,
it's
put
like
a body kit on it.
It's like a futuristic concept of 4AA basically. Like it
You
doesn't.
can see the 488 in it though, like
It's sort of the side. It's this sort of general shape that you can see the 488. The front, I'd say, is still pretty
It's the
different.
488 chassis, 100% with a body kit on it.
Yeah.
It's-
It's not something I would expect Ferrari to do, though. So fair, really, right? Like, making the 488 look like this. I'm surprised Ferrari's own PR team didn't stop the
That
manufacturing
fin
team.
on the front, Jesus.
But this thing does look pretty cool. It looks cool from the back, and it's a bit more futuristic looking. One-off, meaning it'll sit in some collection somewhere.
If it makes it that far.
It's better than the bolide, I suppose. As in, I don't know how I meant that, honestly. Like, maybe
did
the
you
bolide's
mean that?
better. But speaking of the bolide, in no way at all, the Mustang. The Ford Mustang GT3 V8 brutal 5.4 litres of naturally aspirated goodness. Some good wood, you could say. Some strong wood, frankly.
I don't know why they're making a GT3 Mustang. Like, it's one of the oddest cars to compete in GT3 race class with, but go
So is it
ahead.
actually going to be in GT3? Is
Yeah,
that... Okay,
yeah.
so this is its debut. I mean, that's kind of cool. I like the whole concept of this good wood, right? Everyone's showing off their wood. It's good. It's good. I enjoy this show of wood, honestly.
I mean, this was announced, like, 2 months ago, but yeah.
I mean, I guess we just missed over it, right? It looks pretty cool.
I mean,
though.
it was a Mustang, so I didn't put it in.
Yeah, it's that GT style of Mustang. I mean, I don't know.
It's just a touring car Mustang, basically.
And it looks pretty good for a touring car Mustang, you know. I'd take
The
it.
livery helps.
If they added it to the crew Motorfest, I guess at this
Motorfest.
point, I would take it. You know, it looks
No
like a
Mustang GT3, no buy.
exactly. It looks like a very Motorfesty car, if anything. Obviously we've seen the Senna GTR. We've got stuff like that. Like,
do you really want them to put a muscle car into touring car in Motorfest and just it'll be terrible?
I mean, there is muscle cars in touring. There's the base Crew 1 ones, the ones from Crew 1
all
that are
those
just
are great.
like converted. We also saw, was this even a Goodwood? Okay, there was a Mark E rally, but that's like the worst wood I've ever seen. It's and I've
A290 was shown in public for the first time instead of being in a warehouse.
yeah, so not very specific images of the A290. Instead, actually being shown off and actually being driven. And hey, this thing didn't plow into a hay bale, so it must be good, you know?
The more I see of it, the less believable I think it is it will ever exist.
You reckon? I mean,
It doesn't only have forged carbon bumpers.
yeah.
The wheel arches are forged carbon. Like,
Why has it got RGB CPU coolers on the rear? Those aren't the exhausts.
you should see the logo on the side.
They're
They're matching.
This. Wait, where? What the
logo on the side of the car is
Got this
RGB.
bit.
Yeah.
Oh, is it RGB?
Yeah.
That's kind of.
It's to match the light going down the back and all the
Yeah.
little spinny lights on that.
It's
Yeah,
a
they all light up.
controller. Like, it's a game controller. This car is a PS5 controller. Like, it's got these, like, weird... Like, those
I
look
don't
like...
get the choice of that. Yeah.
They're RGB CPU fans. I quite like them, frankly.
They're selling 3 of these total, I guarantee.
I reckon they'll do,
Interior's sick. Interior's cool.
Yeah, they'll do like this Ionic, right? I reckon they'll have the toned down bass version, which I think will still look cool. They'll have the toned down bass version, they'll have this version, and then eventually maybe they'll do like a higher spec, but not this spec version, I assume. Still looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
I assume that the road version will attempt at least to look as close to this
Well,
as
it's
it
not going to have the
possibly can.
carbon fibre on it, I can tell you that.
But it'll have like
And
black.
it's going to
rough
have
metal.
more... The seats on the inside are actually just straight carbon fibre. They are not comfortable.
I mean, yeah, those will be actual seats. I assume.
Yeah.
Have they said this thing is coming to market or having like a toned down version?
They've said that it's coming to market.
Because if it's coming to market like this,
They've said it's coming to market as a 3-seater, like 3 front seat, like this. This seating pattern
Yeah,
is what is
yeah.
finer.
it's
But
a rather awkward seating pattern, frankly, right? Like it's like, not to insert a good wood pun anywhere, but there's definitely a wood interaction joke to be made here somewhere, right? You could, you know.
I mean, passengers have plenty of legroom.
I mean, that's what I'm talking about, right? I'm just saying you could open up your wingspan, right, with the carpet like this. It's strange. It won't look like this. If it looks like this, it's not gonna sell well. If it doesn't look like this,
It will have sort of like... I imagine I'd like Recaros in it, just sporty Recaros with a sort of a Renault Megane RS style wheel.
yeah.
And yeah, that's about it, really.
I kind of want a boring version of this, right? Because I know that a boring
It will
version
be
is the
parts
only way...
bins to oblivion. It has to be if they want to get... Apparently they want to get it out for 30 grand.
Exactly, right? Like, for
It's
that...
going to have a Renault Centre like
There's no way
it's going to be Renault.
There's no way this can look like that. The dash? What is that called? What's that whole section of the car called?
I mean, the dash, basically, but it's got the steering column coming out the middle for some reason.
Exactly, like it couldn't have that.
They will just probably cut in half and make like a Captar or something dashboard and have it on both sides with the centre steering column of a Megane coming out the middle.
I mean, it's
Something
still... I do still think it will look cool, and I still think this thing on its own is cool. Outside of seeing it come to market, I do think this thing on its own is still pretty damn drip, the A290.
Yeah.
Still one of the cooler things that any... Hatchbacks in general, we are truly in the hatchback renaissance, and
It's a better Ioniq 5.
Yeah, right, like it's... We are officially in the stick drift hatchback renaissance, and A290 wins.
Until MG bring out the Cybster patch or something. And then
Exactly.
Then
Then that's it. That's over. That's the whatever ended the renaissance of the hatchback renaissance. I don't know my history clearly.
something.
We also, I believe, is that all of the wood? I'm looking
That's
through
all
our
of the
chat
wood.
of wood.
Yeah.
That's all of the wood. I mean, that was a long wood segment overall.
It
I didn't
was.
realize we were going for 40 minutes talking about wood. But from that, we can talk about something more media-based. There's been a bit of a really strange set of shenanigans going on in the world of YouTube and in the world of car YouTube. A quick update to this section of the podcast. There's actually a happy ending. We're going to talk about this, but after, obviously this was filmed a while ago, this podcast was filmed on Friday. One, Goodwood, I think it was cancelled for a minute, but I think it's back up and running now. But two, because of the wind in the UK. But two, he got his channel back. He got it fully reviewed, and they were like, wait, obviously not, because it was Need for Speed, okay? Yeah, so that's the update. We got the happy ending. We're in the good timeline. He did end up getting his channel back, which is the best. Well, I say channel back. The strike was in the end removed, which is what should have happened to begin with. But that's the update to this section that's about to come up on YouTube. You guys might know and recognize the name Crowned. He used to make, well, used to definitely being the word for it now. Used to make cinematics. He would be big in cinematics. He would customize them, do videos on really cool cinematics. It seems like he eventually, I assume he got early accesses and stuff, so it seems like to a part he became like customization, a sound comparison video. They all seem to have banged. I mean, some of them not, right? Like time-lapse in 3 minutes, Forza Horizon 4, 12-hour. I mean, it's kind of a cool concept, but clearly it didn't do as well as everything else.
Yeah.
Not like a spam uploader, but like a very well-known name in the racing game community. Millions of views. He's made some of the most iconic cinematics in the Crew 2's history. I know I'm in the Crew 2 space, and he made that one on the bridge, I believe. That was Crowned, right? Like the...
Was it?
I want to say it was. I'm trying to look for anything Crew 2 here, but I can't find anything.
There's not much Crew 2 on there.
No, maybe it didn't. Maybe it didn't do as well as I remember his Crew 2 stuff doing. But I know that he definitely did something Crew 2 based. But some really weird shenanigans going on in the world of Crown. Of course, known for cinematics, which I might even be doubting. Have I gotten this wrong? Is he not actually who I think it is? There we go. Regera customization, fully upgraded. Shelby, the Shelby cinematics.
That's the one.
Yeah, that one I saw very iconic. I think it might have been Tire Slayer who did the bridge one. No, yeah, here it is. Everlasting, the 3 German cars. Or no, it's like a Bentley, a Beamer, and a Mercedes. The bridge one, the Brooklyn Bridge, this thing. Because if it ain't me, it's another whatever. You know the one I'm talking about. This one. This cinematic. He did the Shelby, which I watched, and he did, clearly those very, very popular
Those ones. And many others. And many others.
I assume, right? I just didn't watch him for those other ones. Very cool stuff. Very big guy in all of the spaces he went into. He stopped uploading 7 months ago. And I don't know if he was too common of an uploader anyway, but he stopped uploading that much. I mean, 7 months, definitely, considering it's 7 months, 7 months, 7 months, 7 months, 7 months, I assume he was at least uploading a little bit before then. Stopped uploading, and I don't know what the time frame was like on this, but he then tweeted in July 10th, "Hi YouTube creators, my video received a community guideline strike. I submitted an appeal months ago, and still haven't received any response. Neither my channel nor that video has anything to do with," get this, what it was flagged for, "violent criminal organizations." It's an automotive video game cinematic. What?
Yeah.
And the worst thing is, we understand. So, update. after thorough review of our policy, unfortunately, your video wasn't reinstated July 12th. What?
Yep.
Continued. We understand this wasn't the outcome you were hoping for, but please review our policy on violent extreme criminal organization.
It was a Need for Speed cinematic.
It was a Need for Speed cinematic. I don't get it. So they did this tweet and they...
I mean, you act like it's anything new for YouTube to just say, policy this, policy that, and they're just completely wrong.
Exactly, right? But it's so weird, because the last time they died on this hill was when they did, like, violence for, like, a staged, popular... It was, like, a trending video of a bunch of mascots beating some guy up, and it was very staged. But they went in on striking for
Well, I mean, I
violence.
got a guideline strike for a bin being thrown at someone, so...
Yeah, right? Like... It's weird that it can happen on this size. I mean, I feel lucky that I've gotten to the size that I have without at least having one wild,
There's
weird
not
as
much
hell...
violence in the Crucio, is there, though, really?
Exactly right, but what violence is there in Need for Speed? Well, I mean, I guess...
The bad game call I had.
Yeah, so this was the video in question. I'm obviously not going to play it. There's a chance it was the music, because he says... This is a cinematic from years ago with an edgy song. You're going to have to listen to it because obviously it would play through the video for me.
Where is the video?
It's on his Twitter. I will link it to you. There you
Please do
go.
that.
And he said, and the worst thing about this is that, but again, from 6 years ago. Like, he just randomly got this strike on a video from 6 years ago. And the issue with the... Well, I say the issue. It's probably a... This on its own isn't an issue. It's what's happened here that's the issue. But this strike...
It just sounds like a song. It's just kind of... there's bass.
This strike is a strike for a thing that means your entire channel is no longer ever...
You might have more than one strike.
I don't know, right? Like... Well, no, because, like, 2 strikes... I don't think anything changes from 1 strike, and 3 strikes is the channel
You get a stream
gone,
and upload
right?
ban for a certain amount of time with 2 strikes.
Yeah, but this isn't an upload ban. This is a whole channel... So it is that, like, violent criminal organizations means that the whole channel can never be monetized in the future, is what that is.
Yeah.
And
which is interesting.
He's got that... I mean... if it was an actual violent criminal organization, it makes sense just to clarify. But it's so weird that that's happened. And he said...
I was driving on a road. I mean, it is...
channels
you are part of a criminal organization.
Yeah. Channels that have received this strike can't be monetized ever again, meaning that if this doesn't get fixed, it might be the end for the channel. And he quote tweeted YouTube saying... Hey, we're back in what we said. Well, the channel is demonetized forever. That's the end of Crown, I guess. And that's sad as hell. What? Like, the fact that's possible, right? 55 million views in total, going from the channel created in 2014. What? He had a Discord partner... NVIDIA digital artist, Codemasters Racing, head.
I assume he's Codemasters and EA partners.
Yeah, partner with those 2. Like, that's scary, man. That's scary, is what that is. That, like,
yeah.
I assume, because of his uploading frequency and, you know, short videos sometimes, I assume there's a chance he had a different job as well, I would hope.
I mean, he had NVIDIA digital artist in his thing, didn't he? I'd assume that's what he does.
Yeah, right. Like, I really hope that something else was sustaining him, and the YouTube was something extra. Because having your whole livelihood ripped away like this scares the ever-living shit out of me. Like, that's why I want to... Like,
yeah, shows not to put all your eggs in one basket, I
exactly,
guess.
right? That's why I want to grow the podcast, to have memberships and have its own community with memberships and extra content. And, you know, if anything ever happened to YouTube, it would just happily move over to Patreon, right? Like, that's why I want SidWaj to be slightly detached, just wheel gameplay that does wheel gameplay numbers and funds everything else, right? Stability is the name of the game. My channel, as far as how small of a YouTuber I am, I think it's known that I do way more for my size, income-wise. And it's been weirdly stable. Like, it's been impeccably stable numbers.
I mean, I think it's just a very good combination of very consistent, very frequent, long-form content uploads with a more American-based viewership on a racing game.
Yeah,
like,
right.
All adds up to a very, very, very good CPM.
Yeah, that, and then, like, the money's stability, right? Like, it's every paycheck. I mean, now it's booming off, right? So, ignoring right now, every paycheck was every paycheck was within $1,000, right? It was like it was a.
I mean, when was the last time you got a paycheck below $1,000?
Like, no. As in, like, like, the values of the lowest I would get and the highest I would get, those were within $1,000. Like, the
apart from, like,
fluctuation.
February 22, but yeah.
What's it called?
The month where you did nothing got, like, 300k views.
Was that,
It was...
No. Even that, Feb 22, okay, that's not on this, to be fair. That's when it ramped up, right? That was when I actually, when it started, you can see that each of those numbers is within $1,000, right? Like, I'm weirdly stable. Where it's been, obviously I'm not going to say how much, right? But now it's booming off. But none of that stops a random strike. A random strike for some goofy reason. A random strike on some old video that I didn't even know about. A random demonetization somewhere. None of it stops any of it from just...
USA Road Trip is basically promoting criminal organizations.
Yeah. Like, none of that can stop anything from just them going, well, we've decided, no more job for you, actually. And for me, it's the main thing I do, right? I guess thank God I'm doing accountancy on the side and getting that done to a decent level. Getting that done to level 4.
I mean,
like,
you could probably just create a new channel at your size and be sort of okay.
I suppose, right? It would definitely take some time.
Because it's not like you can't upload on the channel. You could just upload a video on the main and say, yeah, channel dead, subscribe new.
I could instantly
you'd at least get monetized
start,
within
right.
the day. Like, yeah.
See, but the issue is then that becomes avoidance, and then that new channel gets demonetized.
It's not avoidance. You're not avoiding a ban.
It follows like that. J Station had a similar thing where it wasn't his main channel that got demonetized. It was everything. Like, he started uploading on a different channel, and that channel got demonetized as well.
Huh.
It can, like, not happen straight away, but it can happen eventually. Like, as soon as they go, okay, yeah, no. But yeah, I could just make a new channel and be like, hey, I'm gonna do it here now.
It's not like it's ban evasion. It's kind of just...
It's demonetization evasion, right, I guess. But, it sucks. And it's scary. It's scary as hell. Again, that's why podcast, that's why Wheel Channel, and Crowned, I hope this decision is overturned. Like, I can't imagine that it doesn't get overturned. Like,
yeah,
it's such a weird decision. Is
there enough outrage, though?
That's the thing. It's Crowned, 180,000 subscriber channel. Still more than double my size. Still a big content creator. But still, relative to the whole platform, a smaller content creator, right? Like, as a viewer, now I look at 100k as a massive number. When I was just a viewer, maybe like 16, 15, 100k channel, I would look at and be like, oh, you know, and just as solely as a viewer. And on Twitter, he's only got 11,000, which again is big, but not crazy big. Only 800 likes, which is big, but not big enough for outrage big. People have been saying stuff.
It's unfortunate.
I've signal boosted it on my own account, but it just seems very, very scarily, maybe nothing is gonna be done, and that would be the worst thing possible. That would be the darkest timeline. We would lose a name. Like, that's a big name. His most viewed things, 13 million views, 3 million views, 2 million views, 2 million, 1.6, 1.2, 1 million. it's not a small loss. These were cinematics that I would have loved to see on Motorfest.
Yeah, it's...
And I can't imagine what the guy himself is going through right now. Like, that must feel terrible. I already struggle with, like, stress and stuff. I'd be in the floor. I would be bedridden. I would just be like, yeah, no, why bother? And I would just not leave my bed, is what I would do. Terrible, terrible outcome, and shocking thing that happened this week. But from that, other than talking about some impeccably good wood and talking about a very terrible situation, I don't believe there's much else in the way of car news.
I mean, Ford Puma refresh, spotted or spotted.
Yay! Where is this? You know what?
The most recent thing posted 14th of July.
Let me look at this. The most recent.
14th of July. It's the first thing posted that day. Just today.
Where am I looking at this?
Car news. Non-posted car news, just regular.
I see an MG. I see.
It's about, you know, the Jaguar video.
This is a.
You got the Porsche.
I mean, in the meantime, hey guys, an Audi RSQ8.
RSQ8.
Whoa.
Where have you found that? You're above it. Down. Below the facade.
Ford's
below
best-selling
there we go.
car is getting a facelift. Is this it?
Yeah.
Why is it? Oh, it is a hatchback. You know what?
That's nice, a crossover.
Okay, good. I was about to take back what I said about the hatchback renaissance. I swear the Puma was a hatchback. What is, like, may cost more.
It's a big hatchback. It's on the Focus platform, but it's a crossover.
Yeah. It looks too big, like, this platform looks...
Well, you can see the Golf in the background or whatever that is. It's massive.
Yeah, this thing definitely looks way too big for a Puma, right? The Puma was a very ugly car.
The old Puma wasn't a great car. It's not exactly like it's Mitsubishi Eclipse levels of killing a car brand name. It's just
like, the Mitsubishi Eclipse went from what it was to an SUV. The newer Pumas are shoes. The newer Puma car, it looked fine. I remember seeing them and actually kind of being like, oh, yeah, okay.
They were one of those cars that were super popular because they were cheap, and now they're just kind of...
They're just a car. They're just an AI traffic car, right?
Yeah.
Weren't they one of the most sold cars at some point?
Yeah,
Probably.
They discontinued the Fiesta, so now this was the best-selling car that month of the announcement.
Oh,
it looks so goofy with the big lights. It looks so shocked. Like, who's surprised?
I quite like the big lights. Honestly, a car where the big lights don't work is the Caterham. A car where they do work is this thing right here.
The Caterham's lights actually look so much like this now that I think about it.
Exactly, right? It is the exact same type of lights.
It's got like a silly, goofy face. Like, it's got a big open mouth with a small nose. And
we did say the Caterham is basically a hypercar Puma.
Yeah, this solidifies it more though. Like, it's terrible car.
In the final segments of the Stick Drift podcast, the gaming segment and the motorsports segment, where we talk about the most recent goings-ons in motorsports games, sim games, and arcade games. By all of those, I mean Forza the Crew and Need for Speed, and by that I mean Forza and the Crew, and by that I mean the Crew and TDU.
Why is that Twitter post?
I don't know. What was it?
Well,
I didn't even
be sure. Make sure you spend time arguing with others about politics online.
Was it?
Yeah.
I wish I saw it now. But yes, recently we have seen big ramping ups in the Motorfest. Motorfest has been getting pictures of the Battle Royale. Has been getting pictures
Closed beta's on Friday.
Yeah, the closed beta begins this upcoming Friday. In fact, 5 days from when this podcast comes out, you will be able to pick up the closed beta. You will probably know if you're in it by now, I assume.
Yeah.
As well as that, we have
if you were in the phases, like phase 1 through 4, you'll also be in it, by the way.
Yeah,
no email
the Insider
needed.
program, right?
That's the one.
So, that you will already be in it, but obviously multiple other people will be selected as well. We'll also be seeing, I don't know. Oh, we saw just some like pictures. Donut Media. We've seen.
Yeah, Donut Media. Some more like environment stuff, like some cars.
Yeah, we only don't know of one story now. We know Rule the Streets with Donut Media, and there's only one story we don't know about. We know of a bikes one. We know of a Porsche 911 one. American cars. We know of Liberty Walk. Lamborghini Automobili, which is, I get it's Italian, but it sounds dumb. Lamborghini Automobili? It sounds like a parody. But a fair few cool things. Motorfest is ramping up very, very big.
Yeah, it's around the corner, basically. It's September. It's super
When we're
close.
filming this podcast, it is exactly 2 months away from this exact day right now. It's the 14th of...
less than that if you get the early access
Exactly,
thing.
right? It's 2 months minus 3 days if you get the early access. And you'll be able to play Motorfest. The game will have released by then. It's anxiety-inducing for me, because I'm like, in 2 months, it's like, that's the game! That's the game of my channel! It's like, oh my god!
I mean, looking at the analytics, I think it's already game of the channel, to be honest.
It really is, right? But I mean, you say that. I've been doing bigger with the Crew 2's new update than I have with...
The shorts are so unbelievably good for views. It's insane.
But even if you look at content and videos, I guess last 90, you can see I'm actually more up. So
videos doing well.
Days, videos are getting, just videos are getting more views than they were Motorfest release. So we got 32K.
I like how it's 8 minutes, 22 seconds long or whatever it is.
32K, 36K on the first 2 days of Motorfest, and recently we did 44K and like 41, 42K in videos, like only videos, not shorts.
Yeah.
So videos are on the up as well. I assume it's because...
shorts help the views as well for very regular videos.
What seems to have happened is that I got put... So what? There was two things that could have happened. Motorfest early access content, and I spiked, and then went back down. So I do 20K a day, used to, I guess. I used to do 20K views a day.
It was more like 30 towards the end of it, really.
Yeah, like, it was like 30 on the good months, right? Like, if it was like a good update.
If you are live streaming and uploading and doing everything on time with decent content, not just, I don't know, contractor throw.
Yeah, it was that kind of numbers, but it would be around 13, lowest 15, highest like 35. I did have a 50K view day way back then, but that was Motorfest reveal, and that makes sense, right? I assume
50K views a day would be subpar.
Exactly, right? Like, that's wild. That's like now like a number. That was what I assume would happen here, right? Or like, no. There was a possibility that I would boom to 50, and then it would be like, oh yeah, okay, back to 20 now, back to maybe 30. Maybe it levels out at 30 is the new average. 50 is now the new average. With shorts, like with booming shorts, 80. Like, obviously live streams as well. Live streams have been doing decent too.
Subs are up massively.
Yeah, like, what's that?
Subs are up, you're doing like 300 subs a day, minimum, really.
Subs have exploded, like, it is, oh, Jesus, I've gained 40,000 subs just in the last year, which is kind of cool. Half my sub count has been in the last year, 13, so I guess that's what, an 7th of my sub count has been in the last 90 days, and a 10th of my, no, not even that, what words am I looking for?
An eighth, and well, 8.8%. So basically, like an eighth of your all subscribers have come in the past 28.
In the past 28, right? I'm on 72,000. 8.2 thousand of that was in the last 28 days. Like, and it's not even it keeps spiking up and down. It's a big number. It's been insane.
It's not going down, is the thing.
Yeah, like it goes down a bit, then it's up, and then it's down a bit, and then it's
also
up.
Makes the estimated revenue page look quite good.
But like, it's been insane. Like, Motorfest as a whole with the channel, everything's been very, as they say, stonks, I suppose. Motorfest in general,
HMRC is going to be your best friend come January or whatever it is.
Motorfest, hey, I mean, that January is the last April to April. They're gonna like me for next coming tax year.
I mean, yeah, actually, yeah. No, yeah.
Exactly. They've got nothing to do with this tax year for now. But
now,
Motorfest,
you do owe tax. But...
I guess, yeah, for the last April to April, which I will do. But obviously, we've got the Motorfest stuff. 2 months away. Very, very big, but the channel has obviously been booming in general.
Well, I mean, I think for all the content you're going to get with the beta that you can record and stream, by the way.
Yeah, like the beta alone will be massive. It's August. August, we're going to have to see what happens August. Like, what's the news? What is there going to be an open beta? Is there going to be
I imagine there will be. They'll do closed, open, and then
well, then it's the game releases like halfway through September. So I assume nothing for the first few, like, 2 weeks of September.
I imagine towards the end of August there'll be an open
yeah,
beta.
I expect, I would say, like, 15th. I would say 15th to 20th would be the start of some kind of open beta in August. And then they lead straight from that into, well, screw you, no more promoting. Game comes out in a month.
No collector's edition. I'm actually so livid.
So I had a back and forth with Corey Johnson today, and it made me realize that not only is there not a collector's edition, it doesn't seem like there's even a steel book. Oh, also the Revuelto was at Goodwood. So, side note, some very impeccably nice wood.
Of course, yeah.
Some of the best wood. Honestly, the Revuelto...
Yeah, it looks like a hurricane, an Aventador from that angle. Like, from above, that is an Aventador.
It's really grown on me. I don't know if it was just driving it in Motorfest, but it's really grown on me, honestly.
The back is still horrendous.
Even the back's kind of grown on me, honestly. The back's what I look at the most, right, when I was in that first preview recording. And it's like I kind of...
You've been desensitized to it. It's still bad.
I have. Like, it's been set as the floor now. Like, the new Hurricane now has, also a, what are they called? Center exhaust, right?
It's halfway up the car, yeah.
Yeah, that kind of exhaust. Revuelto, badass, right? You know, people say
it is bad.
I mean, it wasn't on screen by mistake there, so I'll whack it on screen for the video viewers. There you go.
This is the topic of discussion.
Yes, the Revuelto. I mean, it's Motorfest related, right? But,
This is the loosest gesture Motorfest I've ever seen in my life. But yeah, go on.
It's the cover car.
It's like you see someone walking down the street. This is Motorfest related. Pedestrian.
It's. I mean, say that as if like one of the funniest things in real life isn't just going crew reference to any car. Like.
But it's funny at IRL.
But the next thing to talk about. I'm searching this up for things on screen, and the autofill was Test Drive Vivian.
Okay.
You know what? Poor woman. Like, poor woman, honestly. Test Drive Unlimited. Because, look, the way I see it, I understand if a woman is solely out there to be appreciated, right? If a woman's just putting herself out there to be like, hey, look, I look good, sure. Vivian was just there to promote Test Drive, and everyone's tweeting, yeah!
It doesn't help that the camera operator was making sure to get it in frame.
That one shot was...
They've done it more than once. Like, that was multiple occasions.
I showed it to my girlfriend as well, and even she was like, oh, what?
They had one when she was talking to Alan, or whatever his name is. It's French, I think. But they had the camera down and to the right.
Yeah. It all depends on what she thinks about. Like, the first thing my girlfriend said was, I wonder how she feels about this. Because, again, if she sat there like, oh, yeah, I've got Gyat.
Yeah. Which was the exact words that left her mouth when she read the Twitter replies, yeah.
Then, sure. Like, sure, she's just getting appreciated, whatever, right? But there's a lot of, like, if she's just there, like, hey, I'm trying to fucking live my life, and everyone's, like, drooling over her, right? It's weird. Look, you can tell who the single teenagers online are with just searching Vivian on Twitter. And hey, I was at that point, right? I shimped over a few Ivory Tower, whoever they was, right? For like a split. All I did.
You say this like it wasn't less than a year ago, whatever it was,
like
but
a couple months ago. You know what? I dropped it with like a bonjour with Riz. This has been like a step on me type behavior. That's a tweet I saw.
Someone posted that tweet in the crew server as well. I saw it.
Yeah, like I saw. It's so. What even, man?
Yeah.
I mean, sure though, sure.
Doesn't help with the TDU stuff we got shown was subpar.
So yeah, one of the worst things is that it ended up being. Oh my god, my eyes. It ended up being. Game bad. Show us Vivian, which just. So unfortunate.
Yeah.
It was so much. Game L, give us more Vivian. Is Vivian in the game? I mean, you know what? I will say it in the most respectable way possible. She was a very conventionally attractive, very fit woman. But god damn the internet.
Yeah. I mean, it was happening before the thing even started, just with a silhouette they posted.
Silhouette! It was a silhouette! And everyone was tweeting about it. Like... Oh dear. Horny single teenagers online are a formidable force. And hey... I don't have anything against them, you know. A simp for... I
mean, they make up 99% of your viewer base. So.
Exactly, right. It's not like my viewer base doesn't
I mean, if you showed Vivian on a screen during a stream, you'd probably get more views.
I got, in my stream when I was talking about it, I got people just sat talking about Vivian. She looks like a nice lady, right?
This has just become the Vivian segment.
It's the Vivian segment. Like, I found it rather funny. A friend of the podcast, Alex7, did a reaction live stream to TDU, and the first thing he had to do was say, guys, be nice, stop saying yeah. And I found that rather
to have to say that's the first thing after the event was shown is wild.
It was the way it was so explicit. They're like, he actually, I love him. I do love Alex7.
Please, guys, stop saying yeah, please.
Like, it was word for word. It was, now, guys, be nice. Stop saying yeah. The fact is that Gyat is the latest of the anyone above 19 will find it cringe.
I mean, if it was Bunda, it would have been a lot more cringe.
It would have been Bunda if it was like 2 months ago. Like, everyone would have been saying Riz. Like, if it was like a month ago. Like, it's the fact that Gyat is the latest in cringe young people slang that makes it so much worse. It's the let him cook, right? It's the newest let him cook, right? Like people go let him cook, and then people will ironically go, oh, let him cook. Oh, I say Gyat like that. I'll be like, oh, look, Gyat.
Yeah, you say it like that for now.
Exactly, right? It's ironic till you say it so many times that it's now unironic. That the saying it ironically is unironic.
I mean, it's Bundes in my... I need to change the wasn't yeah.
What? See, it's funny. It's funny because it's so dumb. Like, it's so dumb. Oh, I do love Alex7, and that just, I burst out laughing that he had to actively go, guys, be nice, stop saying Gyat. But yes, that's a whole side thing. Test Drive, the game that was actually being unveiled there. So, we had finally something to do with Test Drive Unveiled. Something
I'll
physical.
refrain from commenting.
And I will be having Alex7 on the podcast.
I'll let
this
Alex
week.
explain the least biased point of view possible.
I will. So, Josh normally isn't on those guest episodes because of the logistics of 3 people on a podcast. So, if you were there, like, that episode specifically for logistics, because I can envision it. I'd ask a question where I'd still be giving the benefit of the doubt.
Alex's answer would be his alpha footage.
Alex would explain justifiably, and you would instantly explode with a take. Because the issue is it's a raging pessimist against a raging optimist against
It's
the
the least
Test Drive PR
biased,
team,
least
right?
biased Motorfest player, least biased TDU player is me.
And then just like the most biased against everything.
Number one Motorfest and TDU hater.
Exactly, right? Like, if it's just that. I think a rising tide raises all boats. I see this being the new wave. Me and Alex, NFS has a top...
Calling this the new wave is an interesting...
TDU has a place, like, hey, it does, that's right. So, we saw gameplay for TDU. I mean, this looks all right.
Yeah, it's about right, yeah. Trying to find something nice to say.
Stop.
There is gameplay.
I like the concept of it. I like that this will be one of the best games.
I like the concept of the Cyberster.
I don't like the concept of the Cyberster. I like that this would be a game that you could go... It's the CarX player's game. Like, this...
So why would you not play CarX?
Because CarX doesn't have indicators. And this is an open world... No, not CarX, sorry. This is an open world no hezzy. That's what this is. It's an open world gameplay no hezzy. And for that, I don't think it's bad. You gotta say... What? What was the silence for? Go on.
Yeah. You're playing a game of better version of a free ascent course of mine is wild.
It's got competitive online racing. It's got online racing. Okay. So let's change the perspective here, right? The graphics.
The graphics are...
Compression's
okay.
not doing it the best.
Car models, textures, and reflections are good. Buildings, yeah.
The environment definitely seems lacking. Alex...
Trees, bushes, and dirt roads look fine. It's just like anything made out of brick or concrete is just...
Okay,
they
and
left the textures at home.
I want to clarify here. I'm about to criticize the alpha build. What I'm about to criticize is something that, fingers crossed, isn't close to the final version. Bearing in mind, what I'm gonna criticize here is the alpha build. The physics look weird as hell. The graphics look very...
They are changing the physics.
Very, very, like, some of the things look a bit bare bones. The environment is a bit... I like the cars. Chase cam. That's one thing.
The camera looks so odd.
It's
but,
really
that's not the only thing I have faith they'll change.
Yeah, like, braking really jolts you, even if you're, like, tapping brake. The chase cam is really stationary, really soft. The chase cam looks weird.
It's got Gran Turismo stiffness. I hated it in Gran Turismo, and I hate it in this.
And again, that's an issue of the alpha version or whatever, right? I'm criticizing just the alpha, okay? All of you are wrong, alright? I'm the one who's right, all of you are wrong, alright? You can't criticize it like it's the released version of the game, it's the alpha. But also, I'm criticizing the alpha. You can't say my criticism is invalid because I'm criticizing the alpha. Or maybe you can say it's invalid. I don't know. I don't care. Like the game if you like the game. Hate the game if you hate the game. One big thing is sometimes games
you know,
aren't for
in the
people,
left,
right?
there's like a parking lane or cycle lane or whatever that is. What is?
It's
Oh, it
Panamera,
does.
like
It says parking lane on it. I don't know why the text's slanted.
That is
Is that a
upright-
reflection? But
I-
it's upright text. Is it not? It looks like it's.
upright text for the parking lane? How? Wait, what is going on there? Actually, I didn't notice that. The
But it's alpha fudge.
It's alpha. It's the alpha. But it's definitely a meme, and that's a Crew 2 skill.
I was actually about
to.
to say that is a Crew 2 logo. What have
That
they
is
done there?
actually a Crew 2 skill logo. That's a Crew 2 event logo. Wait a minute. Which, whatever though, right? I guess.
We got a touring car race in the middle.
I mean, yeah, there you go. It seems like it's gonna have like themed event types. But okay, let's change perspectives. Let's slow down and change perspectives, right? One decent opinion has been that it's, to a degree, because it's that everything has a catch, right? I know I sound like I'm jumping everywhere, right?
I don't know where this point's going.
Look, everything
got a
has
catch.
a catch, right? If we criticize it, it's alpha footage. If we praise it, game shit, right? So, zoom out from that, right? It's not what they showed. It's not the quality of what they showed. It's what they chose to show.
Yeah, but why would they not show the best part of what
That's
they have?
what's worrying.
They believe this is the best they have to show.
Like, that's the most worrying
And that
thing.
is a very,
this is
very
what they
worrying
showed.
thought.
You talk about that for a minute. I'll leave you guys with the very
that's the
most
dangerous
non-biased
thing.
opinion.
Game looked bad because it has cars. Yeah, terrible game. I mean, overall, I don't think I'm going to be getting it in the end, realistically. I mean, if it ever comes out in the first place. Like, the car models look okay. Like, the cars isolated are great. It's just the environment, to me, is interesting. Read your interpretation on what that means. And it's just the physics look a bit naff, which, if they change them, I'll change my opinion on that. But at the moment, at this current point in time, physics look a bit naff. It's just... car sounds were a choice. Yeah, I don't know what they were doing with those. Building textures. List of bad points. Physics, building textures, the map. It's just... if they change them for the full release, it would still be a medium game at best. I know medium rare. But I just feel that KT, as small development studio as they are, it's gonna release like this.
But they do have a lot of time to develop still. But I don't know, man. Okay, so before I go back to the point of what
It's taken
they showed,
3 years to get to this point.
let me it is
3 years. You're looking at 3 years. 3 years.
Surely, right? Surely
3
a
years.
game. How much earlier than launch does a game finish development? Because some of those things, like so one thing that really intrigued me. I'll ask him about it, right? Like, I will say this with Alex Evan.
I mean, textures aren't getting any better. I can tell you that.
Alex said that in his video, one of the things he said was that the front longitudinal and latitudinal, I believe I'll find it again. Longitudinal and latitudinal something, some kind of physics thing, downforce maybe. He said that wasn't finished yet. That feels like something
Is what I'll say to that.
you
Like,
would.
what?
I don't know. It just feels like that's something you would finish at the beginning.
I'd start making
here we
up
go.
claims.
The understeering is happening because the front longitudinal and latitudinal grip hasn't been set up yet. But
So why did they show it? So why were we
I guess,
showing?
yeah, again, look. I mean, I'm glad we've seen the game.
But
I think it definitely should have been in a more controlled
But
environment.
Alex said the
honestly.
physics were great. He said they were the best simcade physics he's ever felt, but the grip wasn't set up, so how could it have been the...
It might not have been set up in just that specific... I mean, I'll ask him, right? I'll ask him.
The specific gameplay they showed it wasn't set up, but everywhere else it was, I'm sure.
Look,
I'm sure it was, yeah.
Look, I'll ask him.
Yeah.
Write down every single one of your questions, and I will ask them
I ain't
to
got a notebook
answer.
long enough.
You can put them in the Discord, like, because I even still will probably give benefit of the doubt questions. You can have them as outrageous, like, bias as you want them.
I have no questions. I've made my opinion.
See, that's the issue. But look, back to what they chose to show, right? So there was one shot where it is just like, oh, then why did they show it? So there was one shot where it was a nightclub. It was a nightclub they showed.
That was funny.
And one.
Well, that's both the homes in general, the HQs or whatever called.
Yeah.
There's no point to them. Like from what I've seen in this trailer.
Yeah.
They are just worse Crew 2 HQs. Like, much worse. There's no point to them existing. You go there to look at leaderboards.
I would say you could argue they're better because you can...
Socializing in an open world racing game.
You can invite up to 16 people! 16 people! 16 people! Think about that. 16 people.
Do what? Stand in the home?
Emote? Wave at each other?
I forgot you could emote. Yes, game of the year.
Interact with the environment? I mean, it's a game with indicators, right? It's a game with indicators. It's for that kind of audience, you know?
Do you think they're kind of...
Like, I see the audience that is gonna, like, cruise uniformly, indicating every time they need to indicate, then pulling up someone's house and being like, hey, can I knock?
Alex can have that market.
Right? Role players, right? It feels like that role-playing market, really. The no hezzy type market where there'll be
why
those
would
same
you play
role
this
players.
over GTA RP?
Because it's got real licenses. And it's got the rest of the game. It's set in a real world map. GTA doesn't have that. Yeah.
One of GTA's maps bigger. It probably is.
Maybe it'll replace GTA RP. Maybe. Maybe it'll replace No Hezzy.
Is this a Fortnite replacement?
Maybe it doesn't need to, you know. Maybe it's its own thing. But again, so the nightclub. One, the most uniform nightclub I've ever seen. Like, I don't know if any of the devs
nightclub, but the requirement for the clothes was just all white.
Everyone's social distancing. Everyone's just sort of in their own spot. For the audio listeners, I'm doing a really silly, goofy, subtle dance.
Why did they show that? I can't believe they did. That's insane.
There's no making everyone uncomfortable couples grinding up on each other. Random degenerate guys going up to every single group of women they see. There's no everyone's bumping around. There's no mosh pit. There's no like big name on stage or like a proper DJ. Look at that. That might have been actually. I might just miss that. But like the fact that it looks so empty. There's again. Alpha, I'm criticizing the alpha. They might.
What could you do in the homes that you can't do in free run?
Walk.
So imagine taking everything out of the Crew 2's home, the HQ thing, but walking. Would you ever go in them?
You can interact with people this way. Look,
it's a racing game. But
it's like socializing.
At what point is the feature so pointless and so irrelevant you just remove it?
Socializing is a big aspect of test drive.
Nobody...
I think.
The 4-year-olds playing this game aren't gonna remember Test Drive 2, I can tell you that much.
The nightclub. So the nightclub looks really off-putting, right? They could...
He's like a nightclub in the first place.
So you can...
So you can dance? Like, what?
So you can feel immersed! So you can feel immersed, okay? So you can... Why is there a nightclub in GTA? Huh?
Because it's a base point for the missions. There's a vault in there. You store money. You can start missions from there.
You don't know that Test Drive won't have that. It's the
You've
alpha.
Different clothes for the animation.
They might have... Look.
Why do they exist? Why? Why?
Hear me out, right? Hear me out. The issue isn't that they have a nightclub. The issue isn't that the nightclub is useless, right? The issue is that it looked empty, it looked unfinished, it was okay, the thing I haven't mentioned yet, every single AI in the nightclub was the exact same character model. A white t-shirt,
that's one of the things I do reckon that they will change.
No, they will. Like, you say that like they won't change anything else. Like, they'll just copy the file of NPCs over, paste, and then go, and launch the game.
I reckon they're going to tweak the physics a bit. NPCs.
If this is where the marketing...
that was the end of my list. That was...
If this is where the marketing starts, right? It's weird to do this so late, right? The Crew 2 did have the Insider program, but the most we heard for changes from that was off-road physics is the most we heard for changes from that. Which, yes, that's still a big thing to change, but there's so much stuff that it's like, can the game really be early 2024? Maybe, right? What's the time frame like that? How long till then? Like if it's March,
7-8
right?
months.
7-8 months. Maybe they could. You know what? Maybe they could, honestly. Yeah, 7-8 months. What? They'd have to have the game in like a releasable state maybe by 5 months? I reckon the game could be decently improved by then. Why show it is a fair point, but look, they had the same asset for every single person in the nightclub. The issue isn't that that was a thing, because the alpha...
I hate the way those pied plants are placed on the left.
But the issue isn't...
Who did that? Fire the person who did that in Unreal.
The issue isn't that they showed the issue isn't that the nightclub had one asset, one guy in the whole nightclub that they just didn't really speak on either, right? The issue was that...
Why is that building the furthest from straight?
I don't know. That's what they showed. That's what they chose to show. The biggest issue with this whole thing, and I saw Dustin, a YouTuber Dustin, talk about this as well, it's what they chose to show, right? The chase cam, janky as hell, then why show it? The NPCs being broken, it's an alpha footage, but why show it? And then the main thing was, Motorfest did this really well. They showed the intro of the game. Why are they showing the online? Was it just to get the big creator names in there? Like, why show...
Or is anything finished?
But why would that be the only thing finished? That's like the last thing you would do.
Asking why KT does anything is like asking why is it water flowing uphill? No one knows.
It just makes no sense though. Like, why would that be the thing that's finished? It just...
You're asking that about a studio went on strike. I don't think anything's working over there.
They were only on strike for one day, and the strike
I'm
was...
sure they did that for the fun of it, and there were no problems. Zero problems.
It was, it will be fine, is what I heard. It's like, if Nacon does a thing, it'll be fine.
I'm sure the crew mods would say the same thing if the crew employees are on strike.
But... let me give this game the benefit of the doubt, man.
I've got a lot of doubt, yeah.
What if it releases good? What if TDU... What? Okay.
I'm still not buying it.
What needs to change about TDU for it to be a good game for you?
Bigger map, better graphics, better environment textures.
That's a
give
fair
the
one.
Homes a purpose.
What purpose?
Scrap the homes.
Okay, well, there you go.
I don't even know what have we seen.
Gameplay online. We saw races. We saw driving. We saw chase cam. We saw Black Panther. We saw.
Oh no! Just release a remastered version of it.
What, just a remastered version of the game that's not out yet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Test Drive Unlimited remastered.
Okay. I was intending to not talk that much about Test Drive. I'll talk about it with Alex this week. But in the meantime, why
is the focal? Yeah.
Motorsports Segment. I don't care what's going on in Forza. The Motorsports Segment of the Stick
Nothing
Drift
has
podcast.
happened really.
Is it a non-segment this
We
week?
got Nick DeVries got fired like for Daniel Ricciardo's back. Like, they just announced over the, like, midweek that, yeah, we fired Nick DeVries.
Oh, yeah, people were really hyped for that, right? Like, something to do. I saw people were
Yeah.
hyped for something this week on...
Well, because there was tyre tests, and it was basically common knowledge. It wasn't confirmed, but it was... If Daniel Ricciardo done well in the tyre tests, that he would get a seat for next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, he must have drove like prime Verstappen times 10, because during the tyre test, Horner called up, I don't know, who is the... Marco, and Helmed Marco, head of AlphaTauri, and said, Ricciardo's doing well. Marco then fired De Vries without confirmation that Ricciardo would be driving for them.
Oh, yeah. Well,
He just got up and was like, Daniel Ricciardo's doing well. You're fired.
Is it a weird team that they're playing for? Is it a weird team that he's driving for? Because I saw a meme that was like, he drove for this team, and now
he's driving for AlphaTauri, the team that's so far at the back that if he gets P16, it's a miracle.
So I guess, hey, this could be the comeback story of AlphaTauri, right?
If Daniel Ricciardo loses to Yuki Tsunoda consistently by a decent margin, his career is finished.
How is the AlphaTauri losing when it's a Red Bull, right?
It's not a Red Bull. They're separate divisions. They're owned by one another.
Are they not allowed to...
They are completely separate.
Are they
like,
not allowed
They don't even
to,
share
like...
parts.
Okay. Like, they can't, like, mingle, I guess. And also both make the same
I don't know if they're not allowed. I think they'd face so much backlash that they just don't.
Yeah.
Because it would technically be shared development, so they could essentially bring developments as Red Bull.
Yeah.
Then use AlphaTauri to do all the wind tunnel testing, so Red Bull don't use their wind tunnel time.
Yeah.
So essentially sacrificing AlphaTauri for the sake of being insane, like having double the wind tunnel time.
Yeah, I guess so. So
they're separate, yeah.
Still odd, but in that, what's the what else with
PD's bad?
With motorsports.
I mean, Festival of Speed was on, but that's not really starting properly till tomorrow. So.
Yeah.
No race this weekend, because, then we got Hungary next week, and Spain a week after. Something like that. You've got the sheet.
What if I eat before next week?
Then it's not going to be hungry, is it?
Wait. We are in... What day is it?
It's
Belgium?
Just after the British
Budapest?
Grand Prix.
The what?
The British Grand Prix was last weekend.
Hungary. Yeah, Budapest, Hungary. Interesting looking one. I keep thinking it's Italy because it's like the same colours.
Hey, Williams are coming last in that race because it has corners.
It's got a lot of like very tight corners, it seems.
What's the race after that? Spain?
Then it's Belgium. It's Spa, France.
Oh, Spa, yeah. Good track.
Then it's Netherlands,
Zandvoort,
Monza, Singapore, Japan, Suzuka, Lusail. When did this begin? March, and it ends November.
They have a break for the summer at some point, I think, after these next few races.
We got July, September, October, November. So I assume August, I guess, is the gap.
Yeah.
Qatar, Austin in the USA, Mexico.
When's Las Vegas?
Las Vegas is second to last, 16th of November.
That's going to be a horrendous track. I'm calling it now. Like, actually one of the worst races ever of all time.
But consider this. They could put it on the ball.
I didn't think of that. That's going to be horrendous.
Exactly.
Imagine going around a hairpin, just get blinded by the orb. It's playing some advert for, I don't know, Pfizer or whatever they have adverts for.
A big eyeball watching you.
Yeah.
Cool, I guess, though.
But I mean, MotoGP's done for the next few weeks. They're just
there you
on
go. So nothing else going on in the world of Formula
British
One?
touring car this weekend, I'm pretty sure.
What's that?
British touring car this weekend, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, that'll be cool, but I guess we don't really talk about it.
Can't watch it anyway, so...
Oh, is that a thing? Oh, well, there you go. But, on that note, I suppose that's about it for this week of the Stick Drift Podcast. But a bonus episode this week on the Stick Drift Podcast, Wednesday.
Comment your questions for Alex down below.
I mean, yeah, right? Like, if you watch this far especially, make sure you comment your questions for Alex, which I will ask Alex on the next episode, pardon me, of the Stick Drift Podcast. I will see you boys, we will see you boys on the next week. In a...
Next week, yeah.
bit.